What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon White. In the last episode, we explored the remainder of the Desert Resort and the Relic Castle. And inside the Relic Castle, we were given a fossil for a brand new team member, Crush. Yes, we revived him at the end of the last episode, and I did a little bit of a softer setting, although it didn't take me too long to get the nature that I wanted. And honestly, I got the perfect nature, a careful nature, which lowers the special attack and raises the special defense. Special defense being the most dire stat that Turtwig absolutely needs to make it a whole lot better. And very happy about that. Raising speed is a little bit of a futile effort, which is why I'm kind of okay that I didn't get that raised. Just because even with a speed positive nature, that is still... It's still not very good, so it doesn't really do all that much, but I am okay with lowering special attack. This is a very good setup for Turtwig, but unfortunately, Turtwig is still not strong enough to really do all that much. So in the meantime, he is still going to be holding on to the experience share and just kind of reaping the benefits of that for the time being. Higher level than Naz, though. Got to give him that credit. But anyways, we're finally heading off to Nimbasa City in this episode, although there is actually a trainer along the way that we missed out on. So we're going to be taking on him first things first. Then we're going to be heading on into the gate and hopefully meeting up with Professor Juniper and Charon. And then, yeah, like I said, we're getting into the next city, which is exciting. There's going to be multiple things that we're going to be doing once we get there, so that's really cool. I can't wait to get out of this freaking sandstorm, though. My goodness. Just a level 19 Pidove, though. That is not going to be all that difficult to deal with, got to be honest here. Can we one-shot it? Yes, we can. Beautiful. Gives Naz a little bit extra experience, and Backpacker Jerome has been defeated. Now, as we head up here, I don't think... just want to make sure the dowsing machine doesn't pick anything up, and no, it doesn't. All right, into the gate we go. I believe we're done here. Hello, Charon, Professor Juniper. How are you all doing? Hello, Levi. Come here. Gosh, he's so unamused all the time. Elisa called and was asking me all about electric-type Pokemon, and I thought about you guys. That's why I wanted to see you. Ta-da! Freebies for you. Here, Charon. And you too, Levi. We obtained Ultra Balls, and not just a small handful of them, but 10 to be exact. If you see a Pokemon that you want to have join you, be sure to use a good type of Pokeball, because this could be the first and last time you see that Pokemon. I know it might seem strange for me to say this since I'm the one who asked you to complete the Pokedex, but please remember to enjoy your journey. Of course, I'm not saying you can just neglect the Pokedex, but you know that. Now, if you'll please excuse me, I have to go meet Bianca. All right, Juniper, off you go. Well, thank you. That's a really helpful set of tools you just gave us there. See, the professor gave us the Pokedex as a reason to send us on a journey. At least that's what my mom told me. They want us to go out and see the world. So my mom, Bianca's mom, and your mom made a request to Professor Juniper. Oh, it's a bunch of friends all helping out. Levi, what should we do? I think I'd like to show the professor my thanks by going to Route 4 and catching some Pokemon I haven't yet caught. Well, that's very nice of you, Charon. Unfortunately, I have bigger and better things to take care of. So let's head on forward and into Nimbasa City. And welcome, everybody. What a minute. Well, hold on a second. We were going to explore, but right off the bat, there seems to be a problem here. Gramps, we know you run the daycare. How do we know? Because we're Team Plasma. We're taking Pokemon away from people. Since you work at the daycare, we figure you must have a lot of Pokemon. Hand them over. What kind of nonsense is this? Oh, a strong-looking trainer. Please help me. If you're going to get in our way, we'll take your Pokemon too. So it looks like we got to battle these guys and deal with the problem here, although I get the feeling that this isn't going to be all we're seeing of Team Plasma in this area. But let's go. All right. Starting off with a Watchog here. Like I said, just going to be using Naz. Now, I actually also put Amy into the PC off-screen, our old Panpour. Didn't really have a reason to have her any longer, even though, you know, just having that in the party for the sake of healing and whatnot can be a good thing. I just figured I'm not going to bother any longer. We're actually going to be getting our next team member. Well, I shouldn't say too soon. It's probably going to still be several more episodes now that I think about it, but not like super long from now, I promise you that. But next is going to be Trubbish. Let's keep battling. Yes, indeed. So yeah, not really all that much we have to worry about. This is an easy one here. Just use a Psybeam and you are done for. But yeah, we're going to be getting our next Pokemon relatively soon. So, like I said, we're just really not using Marty anymore, which reminds me, I actually need to put Marty at the bottom of our party because... oh, wait, they're running? Hiding out in the amusement park? What? Hold on. What is going on here? Thank you so much. Please take this as a token of my gratitude. It's a brand new bike. I'd always planned on riding around Nimbasa City, but I never ended up riding it. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You obtain the bicycle. I have a daycare on Route 3. If you have any Pokemon you want me to raise, please drop them off. I just came to sightsee, but I got in a lot of trouble. Now, I do believe that right there has also unlocked the ability for us to now drop off 2 Pokemon at the daycare, which in turn unlocks the ability to actually breed Pokemon. We weren't able to do that before. We could only drop off 1 at a time. They don't want you making eggs right at the beginning, although they sure changed course on that in the next generation. But regardless, hey, Levi, yoo-hoo! Professor told me Nimbasa City has a lot of things to see and do. The music park, big stadium, small court, and the battle subway. I'm going to go see the Pokemon musical, so I'll see you later. Okay, so it sounds like we got a lot to do here in Nimbasa City. First things first, though, I am going to go up and hit the Pokemon Center for a couple of reasons. One, I want to check the Pokemon Mart here really fast. Not the normal store, but also but more importantly, the secondary store, because I can't remember exactly which towns have the TMs for sale. I think Nimbasa City is one of them, but I'm not 100% on that. I know for a fact on another town, but we'll see. This is the Technical Machine Department. Yes, it is. Okay, so technical machines, obviously being permanent, makes them a lot more valuable in this game, which is why they're at such a high price. So 10,000 for each of these and 30,000 for each of these. We got Frustration here. Frustration is a move that does more damage the more a Pokemon dislikes you. This is a very hard move to maintain. While it's really good right off the bat, as soon as you catch a Pokemon, it slowly loses its potency over time because your Pokemon's friendship just increases naturally over the course of using it more and more. The only way to really combat this is by using lots of herbal items, but it's really not worth trying to offset that. So while Frustration is good immediately, after the fact, you might as well ditch it. Return, on the other hand, is the opposite effect. The longer a Pokemon is with you, the more damage that this ends up doing. And actually, I am going to end up buying this for the simple fact that I want to put it on Arthur to finally replace Tackle. We also have Thunder Wave. Obviously getting that instant paralysis is nice. A Gyro Ball, which is a Steel-type attack. User tackles the target with a high-speed spin. The slower the user, the greater the damage. Really quickly. Okay, sorry about that cut. I wanted to check and make sure that Turtouga can't learn that, which I didn't think it could, and it cannot. That is the only Pokemon we have that's really going to be able to benefit from this move. Obviously very good on lots of Steel-type Pokemon, as most of them are on the slow side. So if you have an Excadrill up to this point, honestly, Gyro Ball would be a very solid move to give it. That's to say, though, that you do need to consider the Pokemon that you're actually going up against, because while your Pokemon can be slow and it does a lot of damage, if the Pokemon you're going up against is also slow, it doesn't make Gyro Ball all that great. We also have TM straight up for Light Screen, Safeguard, and Reflect. Light Screen reduces the damage from special attacks for 5 turns, Reflect is physical attacks for 5 turns, and Safeguard prevents status problems for 5 turns. We're talking not like lowering and raising stats, but we're talking like poison, paralysis, all that sort of stuff. So we got Return. That's pretty much all I needed out of that. Now I am going to quickly teach this brand new move to, and it's actually, oh wow, it's all the way at the top. I'm going to be teaching this to Arthur so that he can be doing a lot more. Not Naz. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. That was my bad. Pressed A one too many times. Yeah, it's time we get rid of Tackle. Arthur is almost assuredly high enough of a friendship level that this is more powerful than Tackle at this point. I believe Return's max base power is 100, if I'm not mistaken, and we should be over the 50 threshold with that. But Return is not going to be a super mainstay on Arthur. It's just going to get the job done for the time being. All right, Nimbasa City. First things first, we're going into the house on the left. Why? Because I need to demonstrate this place. I will judge your battles in a battle test. What would you like to do? Do a challenge? No, but we're going to take a look at the info here. You'll take a battle test using 3 Pokemon for single battles and 4 Pokemon for double battles. You may not use duplicate Pokemon or held items. For these battles, all Pokemon will be set to level 50. You'll battle against 5 trainers in a row, and I will be your judge. That is pretty much it. Battle test is something that you should probably focus on doing in the end game. It is basically just there to see how good your team is. Want to know why? You don't get experience from these fights at all. You don't get rewards. You don't get nothing. This is straight up a test. In other words, it's kind of a massive waste of time, and I really wouldn't do anything else with it. But hey, it's there. It was worth mentioning. Now, next stop, I want to go to the house on the far left up here. I believe it's the far left, and there is a certain trainer I want to talk to. You experience feeling like a powerful man, and we have obtained HM04 Strength. Yes, we have gotten ourselves another HM. Pokemon that can use Strength can push a big rock even when it is not fighting. If you want to push some rocks around, go to Route 16, Thump Thump. That move right there is the move that is going to replace the return that we just got as soon as I can get Arthur to evolve into Superior. For the time being, he's just going to have to settle with return, but that is going to be the move that we're going to be giving him a little bit later. Base power of 80, which makes it a very strong normal type move and is obviously going to be useful, but we need to be able to actually unlock the ability to use strength, which we're not going to be getting for a little bit longer yet. I don't think there's anything in that house, so now let's continue on into this area, which is the Battle Subway. Let's take a look inside. We'll get to the amusement park eventually, but first things first, this lady's going to stop us. I won, then I lost. Gear Station has trains where you can battle other trainers. The Battle Subway. You're a trainer, aren't you? Please just accept this without a word. And we get ourselves the Versus Recorder. If you have a Versus Recorder, you can record battles with friends or on the Battle Subway. Anyway, this woman of mystery will go somewhere. That's right. She'll go on to the Battle Institute. Well, off you go, lady. Maybe we'll catch you in the future. But for now, let's head on into the Battle Subway and check this place out. So the Battle Subway is kind of like the Battle Tower. You've got all these different trains that represent different types of battles. First one right here is for single battles. The next one for here is for super single battles. If you don't know what the difference between these are, single battles basically put you through 21 fights, after which you will be returned back to the station and your challenge is complete. Super single battles are technically endless. You can keep fighting over and over and over and over and over again until you eventually get knocked out. The problem with super single, though, is that we cannot actually do these because we do not have the national Pokedex unlocked. So here you got double battles, and then the next one is for super double battles. There is, I believe, another one that we can't do just yet either. And okay, that's right. Yeah. So then we have platform trains at Anvil Town. We'll talk about that in a second. Then we got super multi-trains. We've got regular multi-trains, and then we've got Wi-Fi trains. So here's where you can do your battles against people online. Obviously, that is not eligible anymore. Then you have multi-battles. Multi-battles will pit you against other trainers in a double battle, but with a teammate trainer that is randomly chosen. And again, you got the same concept between super and non-super, although I do find it funny that this doesn't work completely in clockwise rotation. I mean, I guess it's based on the entrance, so it's like, go that way for single and double, go this way for Wi-Fi and multi. It mostly makes sense, but this is basically just a place to do repeatable battles. Again, you don't get any experience from these battles, and everything is set to level 50. However, these battles do have a purpose, as they do actually get you some pretty nice rewards. And by that, I mean you will get battle points. Battle points can be used to buy all sorts of things, from TMs, which include a lot of good moves from like Smackdown to Pluck to Sludge Wave, Incinerate, Explosion, things along those lines, to battle-specific items like vitamins, which increase your Pokemon stats, the power items, which are used for EV training, power bracers, belts, lens bands, anklets, weights, etc., as well as other held items like Toxic Orbs, Flame Orbs, Eject Buttons, Red Cards, Scope Lens, if you need another one, Focus Bands, Choice Scarves, etc., etc., etc. Pretty much all of the major held items that can't be gotten throughout the main game, as well as some that can all be gotten here by getting the battle points from each of these battles. Now, the other thing to note is that upon every 21st and 49th battle, so 21st battle on regular trains, because they only go up to 21, and 49th on super trains, you will be fighting one of the two subway bosses, one being named Emmett, and the other one being named Ingo. You will also fight both of them when going through multi-battles. These guys will actually have set teams that you have to worry about, and they're basically the same as like the Frontier Brains from Generation 3. But we're not going to be doing any of these today. This is just an area that I wanted to discuss. The only thing we're going to be doing today is this, platform for trains to Anvil Town. Let's head on inside. Hello, let's talk. It's a platform for the train to Anvil Town. Oh, that was very descriptive. What about you? Would you like to board the train to Anvil Town? Yes, I would. Train is leaving the station shortly. All aboard. Now, we're going on a weekday for this, which is a little bit of a problem because Anvil Town is a lot more busy on weekends. You are able to trade certain items on weekends with people to get items in return. Now, none of it's really all that good, but it is still stuff that you might want. The only other purpose that Anvil Town has is, first of all, this lady. And the other thing is this guy right here. Oh, are you also curious about that train? Sure. Alrighty, let me explain. This car is a multi-train. Few cars of this model were produced. This is a test car to develop future mass-produced cars that will replace the old double trains. The technology born during the creation of this train car made the super single train and the super double train possible. So what's hilarious is that even though the trains dictate the battle types, they also have like manufacturing models. They're model specific, which I think is kind of hilarious. But which train is going to be docked here at the station depends on the day of the month that you show up. I believe each train can show up on 3 different days of the month, and they rotate out constantly. It's not day of the week, it's day of the month. So whatever the last digit is. So like, for example, one type of train will only show up on the 1st, 11th, 21st, and 31st of the month, while other trains will only show up on the 7th, 17th, and 27th, if that makes sense. Not that it really means anything, because it's all just cosmetic stuff and just this guy giving you a little description, but yeah, that is something worth mentioning as a little Easter egg. Go on the bridge, she's playing a lullaby for all the sleeping trains of this town. This is pretty much the best thing about Anvil Town is the flute and then just talking to this guy. But like I said, you can get some items here, nothing too fancy though. We'll actually return back here on weekends though, so we can take a look at that in the future. But for now, let's head back on over to Nimbasa City. And there is still a couple more things I do want to show you guys before we call this an episode. So let me just go on past you, and then we'll get the heck on out of here. Well, actually, I think there's only one thing I want to show before I call this an episode, because we're going to save the amusement park for the next one. So pardon me while I leave. And there's also, you know, a bunch more to discuss as well. But as we head up this way, there are a few things here. So right there is the Pokemon Musical, where Bianca's at. We'll be going there a little bit later. This over here is the big stadium. Baseball, football, and soccer will be played here. And then on the other side, oh, nope, sorry, never mind, not the other side. The far end, excuse me, I forget the layout sometimes. I always think the musical's in the middle for some reason. The small court is tennis and basketball. What does this mean exactly? Well, the sports within these stadiums and courts are going to be rotating on a daily basis. Every time you go in there, each day, you will be allowed to battle a couple of these athletes and just, you know, get some experience out of it. Like I said, it changes every single day, so you have that opportunity all the time. Although it is only a couple of trainers, so don't be like, oh man, you can get a ton of battles in here. No, it's just a couple. We're going to take care of them a little bit later. We'll be going over the musicals as well. I'll be doing exactly one just to kind of demonstrate how that works. The musicals are actually a little bit of a robust system, but rewards-wise, they're not anything special. It's just a cosmetic thing with some cute animations and whatnot. And aside from that, we'll be worrying about that and the amusement park in the next episode, because that is it for this one, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Pokemon Black and White. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.